To ask Mr. Hasquin a question day, you can ask me any question, I'll answer it. All you gotta do is raise your hand. Noodle's back, and he's asking me who's my favorite president. And you know, I have several that I'm fond of historically. I really admire James Madison. Maybe not for his role as president. He was not a great president. I mean, but just his historical impact. I have a kind of a soft spot for William Howard Taft. I think in history he gets kind of a raw deal with the one-term president, and then the issues between him and Teddy Roosevelt, which leads to the election of Woodrow Wilson. I also I kind of I pull for John Adams in his first term, well, his only term after Washington. But for my money, my favorite president, I'm going with Harry Truman. And yeah, I get it. He's not flashy, but I'll try to make a case for Truman. I think this guy made some of the most important decisions in world history. I mean, Truman wasn't supposed to be president. He was FDR's vice president for just 82 days. He barely even knew what was going on behind the scenes when it came to the war. And then when FDR died in 1945, suddenly Truman is in charge during the final months of World War II. You want to talk about no pressure, right? I mean, this guy's got the whole world crashing down on his shoulders. And within weeks of Truman taking the oath, he had to decide whether or not to use the atomic bomb on Japan, and he said yes. And that decision is still one of the most controversial in all of human history. Then when you look at what comes up with the Cold War with the Soviet Union and the fact that he desegregated the United States military, the implementation of the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe after World War II, to start the United Nations. He basically helped design the world that we live in right now. And we shouldn't forget, this guy also fired, General Douglas MacArthur during the Korean War, one of the most popular military figures in America, because MacArthur wouldn't follow the civilian orders of the president as the commander in chief. That took real guts. Truman didn't pretend to be a genius. He was very plain spoken. He was brutally honest. And he made impossible decisions without ducking the responsibility. He owned up to it. The buck stops here. And when Truman left office, he refused Secret Service protection. He just walked home to Missouri. Well, I would say walk home. He and his wife, they turned down any kind of transportation, and they packed their suitcases, got in a Buick, and drove home. He said he didn't need a pension. That's just who he was. So yeah, Truman's my guy. He's underrated. He was unshakable. He was very real. And as far as presidents go, he's my guy. Thanks for asking.